WEDCO says the $39 million project is to do with the land reclamation in the South Basin of Dockyard, which will be the host venue for the 2017 America's Cup. However, opposition MP Wayne Ferbert wants to know why the work could not go to a Bermudian company, and he questions the way the contracts were tendered.
Open tender means that all qualified bidders have to have the bids sealed and are open up in public so that the bidders can actually be there and hear what each one put out. This did not take place.
The first tender was for the pile and walls capping and placement of fills. The second tender was for the supply and delivery of imported fill. Initially, the area was to be filled with dredge material from the North or South Channel and shortfall made up with additional aggregate. But upon further analysis, which included an environmental impact study, it was determined that all material would be imported.
We believe that Bermudian contractors should not be bidding against a foreign contractor for work that can be done by a Bermudian contractor. Straightforward. If that is the policy of the government, that from now on all contracts that are done by government should be put out to tender to foreign contractors, Bermudian contractors will never win.
However, WEDCO Chairman Andrew Diaz disagrees and says an open tender system was indeed carried out.
And that is basically incorrect that we did, because an open tender process, if you look at it, our tender process at WEDCO has not changed at all. We typically do not release to the other bidders the amounts of money that they did bid. However, we have no issue in saying what it is or what the amounts are. We do have an open and fair tendering process. We just have a different process from what Mr. Ferbert is referring to specifically.
The WEDCO boss also refuting the idea that non-Bermudian contractors should not be allowed to bid against local ones because of the high overheads carried by local companies.
The other piece of it is that indefinitely every overseas contractor will use local labor. So how is it that their numbers would be any different? Because they would have to employ local subcontractors, which would give them the same amount.
Mr. Diaz also stressing at least 60% of the money spent on the project will be on materials such as steel and aggregate, which will have to be imported from overseas as they are not available locally. Further proving, he states, that a foreign contractor had to be involved. And he notes that while the project is worth $39 million, this doesn't mean the winning tender was for that amount. Tari Trott reporting for ZBM News 9.